Oh, I just realised the artist I confused Silk Sonic with was Silk City.
Who is Silk City?
That's the duo of Mark Ronson and Diplo.
Oh, similar energy.
Yeah.
I guess. Mark Ronson's a collaborator, right, with old Bruno Mars, correct?
Oh, yeah, of course. So if they started another supergroup, it would be just Silk Silk.
Oh, the Silk and Silk? The double Silk? Silk Square? Yeah. I like that. They should do that. Just the quartet, and it's just like silk, but spelled out with like dots in between each of the letters.
And each letter just stands for silk?
Yeah. All just different parts of silk.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all acronyms for the same word. That's very
silk,
good.
Ilk, Lick, K.
Yep.
Or silk.
And that's their first album.
This sink got me smoking out the window, but it's okay, because I'm a pioneer. Welcome to Sync Floyd, the Krull Day special, where we sync the greatest albums of the year 2021 with, of course, the 1980s flop, fantasy sci-fi, swashbuckling, epic Krull. My name is Gareth Blackler, and ladies, come up to the stage, because it's my pleasure to introduce the man I named James Barron. Hello.
Hey, baby, it's James Barron, Funkadelic extraordinaire, here on the mic, ready to talk about my album of the year and how it synced with my favorite sci-fi film. You're just so used to spelling fly that it's worked its way into your own speech, you know?
Yes.
Like, Anderson and Bruno just came together and got right into your mind, and you're like, well, I know that word now. Got it.
I deserve to be with somebody as sci-fi as me, should have been my intro.
Oh. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell the people about this album and about your year in music.
Buddy.
Especially your bizarre Spotify Wrapped you talked about.
Oh, God, yeah. Okay, so, yeah, my year in music has been sort of a mess. It's been all over the place. First of all, I'll talk about my Spotify Wrapped. I got my Spotify Wrapped in, and featuring almost exclusively in my top 100 playlist is the music of Dark Side of the Moon from fabled band Pink Floyd. There's a bunch of other stuff in there. I'm so thankful that my number one song of the year wasn't that.
Mm.
But it is, like, my song of the year was a very sad song. So I don't know what that says about me. Regardless, it was a strange year according to Spotify, but a good year overall for different albums that I enjoyed throughout. It's been a contentious race for me as well. You said that you had a tough time picking yours until the Little Sims dropped that fantastic album, and you were like, wow, that solves it. But yeah, I was struggling throughout the year because there was one that I thought was going to be a big hit, and then a lot of them just started coming in thick and fast and rolled over me. I've got my recommendations, the running contenders. This one I nearly ran with because I thought it would be an exceptionally fun episode. But Jeff Rosenstock, who's like a indie rock guy, came out with an album last year called No Dream. And then he released a version of that album this year called Scar Dream, and it's all Scar variations of his album. Every song on the album.
Every band needs to do that.
It's so good. There are songs on it that, like, I didn't like on the first album, on the regular album. But when they're scarred up, Gareth, they're so much better, and I love them. It's kind of wild. So this is my Scar revival year, in a way. It's fucking good. As a double feature, those two albums are so worth a listen.
Yeah.
No Dream into Scar Dream. You'll have a dream.
Pick it up.
Yeah, pick it up now. So other honorable mentions. We got Old Man Saxon, a chill rapper. He was on like a Netflix special that he didn't win, but he is just a good rapper that I've been following for a while. He's got a chill ass album called Rothko's Chicken and Waffles, which is well worth a listen, just to vibe out and listen to some smooth songs. Highlight on that is a song called Hell Yeah, by the way, which is exactly what it implies. What else we got? Early in the year, I found this pop debut from S.G. Lewis called Times stylized as all lowercase, which is just the most bonkers debut pop record because it features just so many big names. It's got Nile Rodgers on it. It's got Rye on it. It's got Robin on it. It's so good. Yeah, it's just this like yeah, it's just sweet like club pop hits, banger after banger, and just wild for a debut album. So check that one out. Also, one more. I got Mick Bass, who is an illustrator firstly and musician second. Illustrates under the name Mick Bass, but for music it's Mick Bass, and their album Tubes, and that's just like a real hypnotic like bass filled electro album. It's really beautiful to just vibe out to. The nice keyboards, the nice basses. Yeah, it's really good. And also some like really beautifully made music videos. He does all the illustration for that stuff. It's all like his style is very old school animation, a lot of references to like early Mickey Mouse and stuff like that. So yeah, worth checking out all of those. But yeah, rounding it out at the end of the year, I couldn't not choose this album, Silk Sonic, An Evening with Silk Sonic, because I feel like I'm going to catch flack for this choice because I feel like it's a pretty basic kind of album.
Oh yeah,
like it's in the top 40 hits. You know, it's like a very cheesy kind of pick, but that's the kind of music that I really like. It's like I'm a big fan of Chromeo, the band, and they just like exclusively make like disco, funk, electronic, cheesy ass songs about women. Like that's their whole deal. And this is very much the same thing, except with a sort of 70s and 80s funk revival sound. And yeah, it just sort of blew me away. I've been a fan of Anderson .Paak, half of this duo, for a long time. Well, not that long of a time, since Malibu, his second album. And
I think that's been most people's journey. Don't worry.
Yeah. And he's been part of my rotation for a long time, and I like him a lot. Not as big on Bruno Mars, but like especially his earlier stuff like Grenade, etc. When he was just like doing the crooning thing, I was like, not really for me. And then he comes out with like 24 Karat Magic and all these old school revival like pop hits, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, I was getting on board with that, you know. At least that sound, like some of those tracks got massively overplayed, which I imagine this album will also suffer from. But yeah, so when I heard that they were teaming up, I was like, that is a perfect collaboration. Yeah, I'm a big fan of collaborations in general. I think it's really fun. I think it's really fun when like paths cross in music and they just get these two people in the room and they put out an album together. The supergroup is like one of my favorite things. So
absolutely.
So yeah, I was stoked to hear that this was coming out, and then it was like they were releasing singles at an absolutely glacial pace. It was ridiculous. I think the first single for this came out like at the start of like end of last year or something. Been waiting ages for this album, and then it finally dropped end of this year, and I'm like, oh, at last. And it's very short and sweet. 9 tracks long. But yeah, it's good. Listen, it's a good album. Okay, I feel like I'm defending myself a little bit because I feel like it's not that like out there of a pick. I feel like it's going to be a lot of people's albums of the year, but that's kind of why I had to do it. It's damn good. What are your thoughts, Gareth? After all that, after my get down off my soapbox, what do you think of this album?
I had the same thing when I listed all my albums last week. I was like, oh my gosh, poor James, he will think he's gone missing.
No, I was writing them down, man. I'm going to listen to all of them.
Oh, yes. So I had missed this album completely. I think I'd heard Anderson .Paak was doing stuff with Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
And I think I might have just assumed it had come out and gone. I didn't, it's only now I've realised, it was happening really glacially. It was only once the album had fully dropped that suddenly, you and our friend Lockie, who are, two people I really trust in music, were, saying this album was amazing. And I finally, listened. And I, too, had to kind of get over my, I had a bit of preconceived notions about Bruno Mars.
Absolutely.
Definitely the most fascinating career in terms of persona, and that he emerges in the early 2010s as this crooner, this guy in a trilby or a fedora, singing these incredibly sincere songs when it's at the time when it's very, very uncool to be sincere. These are songs about how, girl, you're amazing the way you are, and I'll catch a grenade for you, I want to marry you. And then something happens where he gets funky, but he also gets a little evil. Suddenly he's become Morris from Purple Rain.
Exactly.
He's he's telling women that he wants to party with them and their ugly friends, and telling Julio to get his stretch limousine. And on this album, he's full out just saying some cartoonishly nasty things.
Oh, yeah.
But, that gets him way more popularity and complete critical adoration. Now Bruno Mars is cool because he's, done a heel turn like a wrestler. It's amazing.
Yeah, I am loving that. That is so accurate. Oh, my God. Everyone loves the bad boy. Who would have thought, right? Looking at young Bruno with his big soft face, you would never expect him to be singing the things he's singing about on this record.
Right?
Oh my God. Just wild.
I'm wondering if it was the rise during his reign of Ed Sheeran, who's his public persona is the nice guy of all nice guys. Yet, I don't know if it's just me, but something seems very untrustworthy about that.
Oh, yeah.
So Bruno Mars is I'm not going to let you be disappointed by finding out I'm actually evil. I'm just going to be evil outright. And then when I turn and do something sweet, do a song Put On a Smile on this album, you'll be oh my gosh, he's so sensitive. Yeah, it's to bring it all the way back to, I think we talked about this in our second album, it's second episode. It's when the bad kid at school does one thing good and gets super praise. Yeah. It's now Bruno Mars, he's he's the bad boy. So then when he acts a bit sweet, you're he must really mean it. Oh.
Yeah. So true. But it also goes the other way, right? Because of him, you expect him to be the nice boy, the good boy, and then suddenly when he does the bad thing, you're fucking jumps into the pool, pushes someone into the pool or something like that, and you're oh shit, what? This guy did it? That it also has that energy. So yeah, I'm all about that. Yeah. Whereas Anderson .Paak always been a bad boy.
Yeah.
From the get-go. He's corrupting young Bruno's mind.
It's probably that. He probably introduced Bruno Mars to cigarettes and comic books, and now it's all
I think
gone
so.
wrong.
Yeah. They should write a song about that. About their unlikely town mouse, city mouse friendship. Oh, God. I love it.
Yeah. But yeah, as for this album, I think it's so fun. It's such a hoot. It's I wouldn't call myself an expert on this era of funk, but it's so fun to hear things and know kind of what they're referencing.
Yeah.
And to read about to know the effort they've gone into, like they were buying old drum magazines to try to get the right drum sound, and they were like recording on these vintage microphones. Like the only album that equals this as a testament to how good and beautiful sounding the old techniques were would be Dark Side of the Moon. Like, there's nothing else that could advertise a vintage microphone quite like this album.
Very true. Yeah. That is easily one of my favorite things about this album as well, is the lengths that they went to for the production and how well that pays off. Like, the sound on this album is pitch perfect to the point where like it could have come out in 1975 and like it would have like it would have had some strange modern techniques that they weren't quite ready for, but they would have but it would have passed like as an album of the day for sure. Like sound wise it is right there, and also the instrumentation on this album is so tight. It is ridiculous how well constructed this is, and like having both of them be drummers is insane. like that really goes to show, like Anderson .Paak's always been like an incredible drummer and like sings and raps while playing the drums, which is just it boggles my mind how someone could do that. That's like the most intense. That's like rubbing your tummy and patting yourself on the head 1,000 times over, like
while on a horse.
If you're also a millipede, like it's ridiculous. And they like both have this insane skill, and it really, really goes to show on this record because it's just such a tight recording, and there's so many crazy like rhythms and chords that are used throughout. It's like, it's brilliant. Just musically, I'm a big music guy rather than I'm not. So that is the dumbest thing I've ever said, but I'm much more about like melody and tune and stuff like that and rhythm than I am about lyrics. I'm not a lyrics guy, and I never have been. So it's very much, that's potentially why I sometimes get myself in trouble by choosing albums like this as my album of the year. So who knows? I may catch flack, but we'll see. Yes, let's talk about it, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So are we're syncing this with another, it's a real relic of its era, but it's not intentionally trying to be that, is of course the 80s sci-fi film Krull. So for this week, we're going to play the same kind of game we did last time, where we're going to go song by song, but talk about the syncs that happened when we watched Krull on mute while listening to this album 4 times over.
Yes.
So we're going to be driving back and forth between 4 different stretches of the album. Of the movie. And that is, hold on. It's from, the first album playthrough is from the credits to when Ergo the Wizard shows up. Again, this is going to be buck wild to the Bruno Mars fans who decided to hit play on this.
Yeah, good luck, motherfuckers.
Then album 2 is this Ergo meeting the Cyclops to the Sears attack and talking about the Widow of the Web. Then number 3 is from Ergo turning into a puppy to the Cyclops accepting his fate. No, sorry, to the flying horses.
Yes, to the fighters,
Album 4 is from the attack on the fortress to the credits.
That's right. That's exactly right. If you thought last week was difficult to follow with the plot of the movie, you're in trouble on this episode just because we are going to be like time travelers warping between different parts of the movie. Like this is going to be like bloody Pulp Fiction on steroids. Like it's not a good time.
Just outright telling people we're like Bruno Mars, we're the bad boys of podcasts. We're outright telling them it's not going to be a good time.
It's going to be fine. We're talking about the syncs in order of how they appear with the album. We're mixing it up, and it's going to be fine. You know what Krull's all about. If you've listened to this, you've probably listened to our previous episodes with Krull. You know what's going on. We've covered it like 4 times, 3.5 if you don't really count last week. So,
Yeah.
like,
And it's
listen to
essentially
one
it's
of
a
those.
hero's journey, so it should be somewhat. It's a hero's journey with just the most insane details, right?
Yeah, just with a bunch of random stuff thrown in, okay? And we're excited about that random stuff, and that's what I'm going to be talking about mostly with my syncs. So get hyped for that. Let's...
Now, James.
Yeah.
In order to make this what I thought would be easier...
Okay.
And give myself a very special experience to absorb Krull in a new way, I watched my first 3... as per the rules. I watched them the way the director intended, on mute while listening to the 2021 album An Evening with Silk Sonic. For the final playthrough, I chucked the album into Adobe Premiere.
What?
Divided up each album play, so divided the film into 4s, then made a 4-part split screen where the movie played in its 4 different start points at the same time, with subtitles on each little screen. And the album would just play normally with all its syncs happening at the same time.
Oh my lord.
And that's how I finished this movie.
Wow. Like you're a fucking Bond villain looking at the security cams that are all over the place.
Yeah, or like, I don't know, some sort of 4th dimensional being watching time.
That's... fantastic news, Gareth. I can't wait to hear about that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
It hurt, to be honest. I watched it on my work computer because it has the biggest screen, and it was a little too much to take in, especially when you're doing it with Krull.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Like if I was doing it with My Dinner with Andre or something, where I can only look at simple things.
Yeah,
like
that would have been
flaming
okay.
Horses and a Cyclops.
Oh my god. That's just so good. It's like you've been handed a plate of cake and just put the whole piece of cake into your mouth at the same time. Like rather than eating it like a normal person. Oh, I'm so stoked to hear that, Gareth. I'm going to I'm lucky in that I have done the base regular watch. So we have a litmus test there. But that is just great. I'm very excited to hear about that.
Oh, good, because, I will say I've got a very clear idea on the colour palette of this film now.
Oh, yeah.
But there's never a shot where the same character appears at the exact same second across these half hours. Okay. So that was a shame.
So no direct sync across all parts.
No,
that's
sadly
fine.
No.
Okay,
yeah,
that's good. That would be impressive in any movie.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, maybe not in something like Moon, but but never mind. Anyway, let's do it. Let's talk about this album and this film. Let's go. So yeah, the album starts with Silk Sonic intro, which is setting the table, setting the course ready for you. We've got the featuring host of the album, which I like the idea of. We're inviting you in to listen once more with Bootsy Collins of Parliament Funkadelic fame.
Yes.
Absolute funk legend. Great that they got him on like different parts of this album and also as like a narrator. Yeah, the album's not really long enough to justify a host, but I like it a lot anyway.
Yeah. Fascinating recent career for Bootsy Collins in that he's not really like showing up to play bass on anyone's albums, but he's come to be the narrator on like 4 amazing albums in the last few years. Like this one, he's on To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar. He shows up, I think, on a Tyler, the Creator album, and he's on Kylie Uchis's like fantastic 2018 album Isolation.
Ooh.
All doing the same thing, just like, hey baby, you listen to this song? Cool. And he's off.
Welcome to the song. It's me, Bootsy Collins. Yeah, that's just all he needs to do as well. Everyone loves that. So,
right?
Yeah, like, it's fair enough. I'm pretty sure he was on a Wolfpack album as well. Like, it's been all over the shop. Love him.
He's just walking from studio to studio.
Yeah.
Walking up to the mic, saying something, and then walking off again. Like, there's probably thousands of bands who have had him like come in and be like, I don't love it, baby. This song sucks. And he's off.
Yeah. Bootsy Collins seems like the kind of guy who could get backstage basically anywhere, like
Oh yeah.
in any context, like at a football game, like NASA while they're launching the rocket, he's just in the background, like, "Hey, I found my way in," and they're like, "Yeah, Bootsy, going up to space, baby."
Please send him to space. It'd be so good. He'd heal the world from up there.
He'd fix space. He would fix the galaxy, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my
He'll
god.
add oxygen and sound to the galaxy at last.
Yeah. He also names himself Blaster of the Universe on this song. So amazing. Yeah. The song itself is just like, it's just an intro. It is. It's just some like, you sort of get a feel for what this is going to be like. There's some twinkly instrumentation going on, pianos and drums and stuff. You know, it's exciting. It's only about a minute long though, so you know, not too much to report on this. Like, you don't really count the intro as a song, I don't think. Nah. Usually, it's no one's favorite.
I mean, I love the like 4-line verse at the very start. That's pretty much the only verse.
Yeah,
where they're like kind of rapping in unison about like just how funky they are.
Yeah.
Like, I think that sounds really fun. And, like, as again, the little, like, I get that reference. The 1, 2, 3, 4 sounds so much like the start of Chic's Lethric. So I'm like, thank you. I love that song.
Pretty much, I think that's a direct call out as well, yeah. Like,
surely. Yeah,
definitely. At least to the style, yeah. All right. Let's talk about 4 different parts of this movie and how they sing with this 1-minute intro song. Let's do that and see how that goes for the first time.
People are going to assume there was like a hard edit there, but no, it's just the fact that we've got to mesh these two things together.
We've got to do it. We've got to do it. It's the only way. Playthrough 1. We've got opening titles, obviously, coming in. It's bloody party time at the Black Fortress. I'm getting amped to see it. So right at the end of this track, when Bootsy Collins is introducing the band and the concept Silk Sonic. He says Silk Sonic and the Krull logo appears on screen.
Yes.
So, lining us up as a sync from the get-go. Like, here you go. Here you go, boys.
Perfect. Yeah.
Are you ready? I got scared, obviously. I get scared whenever there's a sync in like the first 5 seconds of a movie. So, you know, that scares me. But I was very happy about that. But yeah, that's basically all I got for that. Playthrough 2, we've got Ergo turning back into a human from becoming a goose, is where we're at this part. We get it's sort of an intro to Ergo as a man rather than an intro to Silk Sonic on this playthrough, and he's about to like fuck off into the woods. And then Bootsy says, "Don't be afraid," as he's introing the album, and we see the Cyclops as Ergo is very afraid of him. So there you go. Even a sync here on this playthrough. Yeah. So we were 2 for 2. Playthrough 3, we're still with Ergo, but yes, he's just turned into a puppy, I believe. The guys are singing about who we came to see tonight, and it's bloody not Ergo. I'm sorry. He's just not who I came to see. And yeah, we're just like bit of travel across the fields towards the huge forest of trees or whatever, but no real syncs going on, you know? Yeah. Not much to report with that one. So that's only 2 out of 3 now. Playthrough 4, it is time to see who I really came to see tonight, Gareth, and it's right on the money because it's the Cyclops. He's riding in on his Firemere, the like iconic shot from Krull, one of my favorite shots in the whole movie. Like, if I'm trying to sell Krull to somebody, I show them that one screen grab of the Cyclops holding his spear out and riding a Firemere through the sky. Like, that's how you sell it. Put that on a poster. Put that on the side of my van.
Yes.
Yeah, he's riding in to save the fucking film, baby. That's what he's doing. He's the GOAT. And yeah, we also get Robbie Coltrane, our boy. Run is his character name, Rhun. He dies in this track. We see him dying on the side of the fortress right as we end the track. Brutal.
Yeah.
Very sad. So there you go. Those were the syncs that I caught across the mountaintop. It's so bizarre having to talk about 4 different parts of the movie. I'm not gonna lie. But I am gonna keep going with it because I find it very funny.
I suppose we get like a lot of the talking points of the film, you know, the fortress, the Cyclops, Ergo, Robbie Coltrane being in it.
Yeah.
Like all across the intro of the album. So it works for me.
You intro Robbie Coltrane as he dies, though, which is pretty rough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Poor guy.
It feels like something they'd do in like a great novel of the 18th century, not Krull sing to a silk sonnet.
In this version, we get like him dying and it's like, you'll never guess how I got here. and then we follow on in different parts of the movie and figure out his story. This is the Robbie Coltrane cut where we find out. The Run cut.
Yes.
Yeah. So we find out his real story. I'm excited for that. All right. Track 2, baby. We've only got 9 tracks on this album, so I feel like this is going to be a stranger experience because there were 19 tracks on your album of the year. So less than half.
I'm already a bit dizzy. I'm loving it. Let's get into Leave the Door Open.
Yeah, Leave the Door Open. A real crooner. Back to Bruno Mars crooner. Bruno Mars. It's just like a smooth crooning song about how the boys are like very much in love with somebody and waiting for them to like come to bed and they have left the door open for them. It's this is where you really like you get hit over the head with how well these guys' vocals match with each other. Like they are overlaid so well where like you sometimes can't tell them apart because they just have such a beautiful matching tone throughout the album, I would say. It's great. They both have the same kind of style of singing. But yeah, it's just a lovely croony song. A love song, effectively. It's good. Yeah. Thoughts?
When you have a song, like if you listen to a song that's a duet, that's also a seduction song, do you picture that this is a person with 2 heads? One is Anderson .Paak and the other is Bruno Mars. Or like in a different way, they're like playing the same character.
I think
do you picture you're in a house with Bruno and Anderson and they're both seducing you? Or they're both seducing 2 women in the exact same situation and they're matching houses?
I'm imagining that there's a situation where there's a girl sitting on a couch in front of a television and then Bruno is on one side and Anderson's on the other side. And they like both get up to go to bed in opposite directions. And then there's 2 doors on either side of the room with doors left wide open. And she must choose between the 2.
And because they're best friends, they've made it like exactly the same. Like, we're both using the exact same techniques. We've both got a very clean house and a warm pool.
Same sheets. So,
no one has the advantage. No. It's up to you.
Yeah, you got to make the choice. They're both like respectful of each other, and and they're like, I've left the door open, and now you must decide. That's the hidden subtext of this song.
You've been seduced by these 2 weird roommates.
Yeah, and now you must choose. It would be worse if they were like in bunk beds. That's no good. The separate rooms is much stronger. They're just flatmates. It's fine. Yeah. The musically though.
If it was like choose between, are you climbing that ladder or are you staying bottom bunk?
No. Oh, that sucks.
I'll put on my noise cancelling headphones.
Yeah.
If you guys want a funk.
There we go. Oh my god. When are you joining the collaboration, eh?
Imagine Anderson .Paak, Bruno Mars, and Gareth.
Yeah, special guest host Gareth Blackler.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, who? But yeah, musically, the song is, again, stunning. Like, really well put together. It's very like glittery and glitzy throughout. This one is like just super 70s feeling, obviously, and you just get immediately transported to that time. It's just so fun. Yeah, there we go. That's all I had to say on the song. It's just good.
Same to you,
like the thing about this album is that it's not very deep as well. It is like a lot of the time just singing about like these guys being in love or like just fucking flexing, and that's sort of it. Like it is a shallow pool, but it is of beautiful water. So like just the purest water. You know, that's all I need.
That's a perfect review. A shallow pool of the most beautiful water.
Yeah.
That's what we all want to be.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Well, let's chuck that water in a soda stream and talk about the sinks.
Yeah, let's bubble it up.
Let's sink into that water.
Please. All right. So, this song is playing, and we've got the opening with the Airborne Fortress flying in. It is chill vibes with this. Like, I'm feeling like really, really good about seeing this evil fortress flying into a planet. Like, you get the cut to the like glorious two suns floating above Krull, as we all know, with like right as we go to the chorus, and I'm like, hell yeah. The fortress rotates as we get like right on the money as we cut to a different part of the song as well. Just like a lot of like sweet sync ups with like, which I'm happy about. And also at the tail end of this, we see the Slayers just in and around the castle after it's landed, and they are getting hyped much like me. They are like fist bump in the air and getting real stoked about this album. So that's great.
It's creating the feeling that the fortress is landing on the planet Krull because it's in love with the planet, you know?
Yeah.
It just happens to have a villainous beast living in it.
You know, he's ready for love, though, the beast. That's like his whole plan. He is like... he just wants someone to love him, and that's why he keeps invading planets. You know?
No one taught him. He didn't know he has to move into a mansion with his best friend and leave the door open.
It sucks to be a nightmare beast because you just live in you've got like a lot of stuff going for you in that you've got a flying like Giga castle. But nobody loves you because you're a hideous beast. Oh, such a cursed existence. I bet his favorite film was Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. That's all he wants.
Or like a real problematic rom-com. Like, You've Got Mail. He's like, if I destroy her bookstore, then she'll love me.
What is the bookstore equivalent of Krull? A kingdom.
Yeah.
A book kingdom. Excellent. Send out the Slayers.
My favorite line in You've Got Mail.
Yeah. Send the Slayers. Tom Hanks and his army of Slayers. Classic. There you go. Playthrough 2. It's the fortress is again on screen as it is transferring to a new location. So it's not that big of a jump here. It's doing one of its warpy warps. Unfortunately, we don't get the double warp happening like we did on your album of the year, which was pretty cool. So that's not a sync going on here, but that's fine. We got he's leaving the door. Yeah, we got the beast like directly trying to woo Lissa, leaving the door open for her.
He's trying to lay in these arms.
Yeah, he is. He's asking her for her hand in marriage. And then we just get Torquil and his bandits who aren't really doing much syncing. However, they are described in the subtitles as desperate men, which I would potentially label Bruno and Anderson in this song. So, that's kind of fair. playthrough 3, we're coming into this lovely glade within the forest, and Aeneas is going to go off and see the Widow of the Web. It does sort of paint a fairly romantic bent to this scene, this song. It's very strange. We're just seeing like the Cyclops look lovingly at Ergo, and you're like, I don't know what's going on here. And also, this song ends with Keegan talking about his many wives. He must have a lot of doors left open. That's what I want to say. And also the like shapeshifter girl coming here to try and woo bloody Colwyn. So that's sort of another door left open. There's so many doors left open all over the bloody place. You're letting the draft in. God damn it.
We're born in a tent, Bruno.
I'm getting cold, Bruno. Oh my God. Yeah, it's actually the front door that they've left open. It's an invitation to leave. So
they can just hang out with each other.
Yeah, that's the end version of the song. They decide that they're better friends. They just let this lady leave, and they're like, oh, well, there we go. Well, at least we have each other. And then they both fall asleep on the couch together.
Love it.
Yeah, that's the music video.
That's canon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playthrough 4, we've got Rel rocking up to save the day, climbing the fortress, taking the zaps from the Slayer's beams like it's nothing. And he is desperately trying to leave the door open.
Yes.
He is holding it open as long as he can for the boys to come into the castle. You know, he's extending the invitation to enter this evil castle. So
to the point where he dies trying to leave the door open.
There you go. Man, a cautionary tale of love lost. We get Torquil's forward roll here as well, which I just love pointing out as like a bizarre thing. Doesn't sync with anything, but it's just my favorite part of the movie, I think. It's so stupid, but I love it so much. We get the fortress moving again on this bit, like at the end of this one. So it moved at the start of the second playthrough, and at the end of this one it's moving to its final location, the like big field or whatever. We also get Keegan, or Liam Neeson's character, dying as this track ends. So we've had a death on playthrough on the first song and a death on this song. So brutal. Chalking them up. It sucks that he dies and gets left in the castle. That's like, what a terrible place to die. And then presumably like munched up as it gets destroyed at the end of the film. That sucks. I have no strong feelings about Baldorf or whatever his name is. He deserves his fate.
This after you pointed out that he did not have to go back for his little blade last week. I'm like, oh, nah.
Yeah.
Correct. I'm not even going to look at your quarter of the screen this time.
Get wrecked, you scrub. Oh, gosh. All right. There we go. That's the syncs for that song. Track 2. Now it's track 3. Fly As Me. One of my favorites on the album, for sure.
Yeah, same.
This is just a 70s funk banger through and through.
Yeah.
As soon as this bass line comes in, I haven't seen anyone not smile. It is just such a fun song throughout. It's also just sort of a brag song about how great these boys are and how great it would be to be with them. It's sort of the opposite of the previous track, actually. How they've decided a different tactic. Aggression is the way forward. And they're saying, guy, get with me. I am the coolest person alive. There is a notable part of this song that I was hoping would sync with a lot of different things. Right at the end of this song, and at the end of each of the choruses is this triple hit on the drums, like a bop, 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 pow, and then you go to the next verse or the end of the track, and it's they say 3-piece and a biscuit is the line, a reference to boxing. with like 3 different hits in boxing. I can't remember exactly what they are, but it's like a triple hit in boxing and musically as well is the idea. So it's like a call out to the band to do that, like this ba ba ba, that kind of thing.
Oh man, I thought it was like a fried chicken order.
It
Three
was
pieces
like
of chicken and a biscuit.
I think that's directly like what the reference is, like, but it's also the name for this other thing. Like, yeah, I think that's what it was named for as well. The classic 3-piece and a biscuit. Okay. Yeah, so I think you're on the money, but it's like they're directly calling out boxing. He does a lot of boxing references, actually. Like,
yeah, that makes way more sense.
Especially like Muhammad Ali. Anderson's a big fan, so yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool.
I think that's a lot of the references there. But anyway, love this track. This one is easily a favorite. It's just such a bop. It's got a great breakdown as well.
Yes.
Like just this like smooth like sung part, like where they just flip it and turn it into like a soul song briefly, and then it's like back to this sweet dance funk track. It's so good. Yeah.
It's got a flex that finally I can relate to. Like, you talk about your like Rolexes and fancy cars and such. Like, I get that's expensive, but that's not going to be inexpensive in a way where I'm like, oh wow, that would have like, messed up your day. You would have had to like hold back after buying that. But when he talks about sprinkling truffle on his mashed potatoes, I'm like, oh yeah, that's, you had to go to like the fancy supermarket in the good neighborhood.
That's rich shit, man.
Yeah, that's $20. That's a Christmas present from Mum, is a bottle of truffle oil. Like,
yo.
Oh, yeah.
Tastes
I've got to be as fly as he.
I wish to be as fly as he.
Teach me your ways to be as fly as ye.
You've taught me to spell, boys, but yet I have not reached the height of your flyness. Please.
My other like food related thing with the song is I was making chili last night and I kept singing I deserve 2 beans because I had 2 cans of beans for the chili.
Excellent. That's your contribution to the next part of the album as your collaboration input. You're like, guys, what if this song was about beans?
You can keep that mashed potato line, but what about these beans?
Yeah. What about beans, guys? Yeah, it's important. The musical fruit.
Hey, have I told this story on the mic that my mum bought me a t-shirt that said beans, beans, the musical fruit, the more you eat, the more you toot? Yeah. And I was like, oh, Mum, why did you buy me a like fart joke as a t-shirt? And she was like, I did not even realize. I was just going because I know you like music.
Oh, man. I know you like, I know 2 things about my son. He loves music and he loves beans.
I mean, those are both true. Oh no!
I mean, she kind of got you figured, man. Like, I think you have to wear that shit and own up to it. Accept your truth.
I mean, this was many years ago, but like, I should have kept it up. I think I tried to because it was a nice like raglan shirt. That was like a very nice cut. So I think I tried to find a way to work it, but it just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, difficult. When you're advertising that you love farts on your shirt, like, that's a strong first impression, People don't think about that when they buy shirts.
Does the shirt imply I like farts?
Yeah, that's something you should always check when buying a shirt. And that's what this song teaches us. So sync-wise, with Fly As Me, we've got the king walks in like Lys's dad. The door opens like right on beat with this, and he just enters the room as if this is his theme song, just coming in, just the classic king shit, and And also Colwyn arrives with his retinue as if this is like blasting out the side of his car door. You're like, this is his like flex song, effectively, rolling in to get married. There's a lot of dad disapproval over this playthrough, where these guys are yelling at each other.
Yeah, she doesn't see that he's that fly.
No. They do not see the flyness of their future son and daughter-in-law. Absolutely not.
Very quick thing about this movie as well.
Yeah.
So when Colwyn and his many men rode their horses all the way to this kingdom.
Yeah.
Then they mentioned that they lost 300 men on this ride. Like,
Holy
that's a lot
shit.
of men who die. Yeah. And then Les's father mentions, like, I sent men to come greet you, and then they never got there. So they obviously died as well.
Yeah.
So, like, we're already probably at, like, 500, 600 dead people for this wedding.
For this one wedding.
If it's that chaotic to get to these kingdoms, how did these two meet initially?
Right? Like, it doesn't make sense. I think this is their first meeting, though, right? Like, it's an arranged marriage to, like, try and consolidate their kingdoms because they're running out of people because they're all getting killed by the Slayers. So they're just like, let's just join our cities together, join our houses. I think that's the idea, but it is brutal.
They've got
though.
the energy of people who met online and like
they
finally getting to pash in real life. So maybe they were hanging out over Crystal Ball MSN for a bit.
Yeah, probably. Oh my god, I'm trying to imagine what their MSN handles would be. Colwyn's
ancient name.
Yeah. And he's just got like 4 cry laugh emojis and that's his only it's his only description on his MSN. No other information. She's ancient name XX. Yeah. Incredible. So not too much other than boastful Colwyn on this. The notable sync that I was hoping for does not sync with anything. The triple head at the end. We've got playthrough 2. We've got the just chatting with the bandits, which doesn't really match very well at all. Talking with Torquil's boys and unlocking their manacles, etc. He cannot believe, bloody Torquil though, he can't believe how fly Colwyn is and that he's the actual king and has this key. So, he's getting these guys on side by being so fly. So that's pretty fair. Moving through the song though, we do get the bit where Ergo stops to pick gooseberries because he's a fucking idiot and gets saved by Raoul the Cyclops. There's like a screech as we go out of the second chorus, like a kind of like James Brown style scream, and that syncs with the Slayer dying. And whenever the Slayers die in this movie, I know for a fact, even though I wasn't hearing it this time, they let out this like horrific screeched sound. So that worked. Yeah, we were hearing a screech when there was a screech. Happy about that.
Exactly.
And then we just get some like Cyclops lore for the outro, which isn't really anything. Playthrough 3, we're exploring the Beast's like wild as fuck fortress in one of its many cutaways. That's like throughout the movie. And this plays is sort of a flex song for the Beast on this playthrough, where he is trying to win Lissa over by like tempting Colwyn and transforming into Colwyn and doing all this stuff. He's like, you wish to be with somebody as fly as me. I've got this crazy fortress. Like, I can transform into whoever you want. And also your boy sucks. Like, he does the thing. This is where we get the other crazy thing with the hand catching fire and turning into a rose, which is a pretty fly move. Pretty scucks move.
Yeah, that's the one thing. That was in the 4th verse that they had to cut out of the song.
Yeah. Yeah, turn your hand into a rose. It's very difficult to rhyme what's going on there. But yeah, it does play like the Beast is trying to win Lissa over through song, which I like. In the musical adaptation of Krull, this would be the vibe of the Beast's song. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just this like brag rap song almost. And then the Beast plan fails. He zaps that changeling girl or whatever, and then gives her an ultimatum at the end of the song, being like, I'll leave this planet with the Slayers and all this stuff, or if you don't, then I'll kill everyone on Earth, and then, yeah, etc. So it's sort of a threatening end to this playthrough. If this ended with like a threat on the girl's life, it would be a very different song. But thankfully not. Playthrough 4, we're just all the lads are like really sad because Keegan's just died, which is not a great way to start this like funky bass line track. Yeah, that's not a good sync. And in fact, basically nothing syncs in this part.
Nah.
It's just like using the glaive to cut through the weird prison wall, and Baldorf getting stuck under, getting skewered like an idiot, but nothing really syncs up. So there you go. Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
Next track, we've got After Last Night, which is a just incredibly smooth track. It is Sex Incarnate, this song. It's got Thundercat featuring on the bass and vocals.
Yes.
I think he produced this track as well, which is sweet as hell. Big fan of Thundercat and everything that he's about.
I was thinking he's like our generation's Bootsy Collins. Like,
oh yeah,
every generation gets like this superstar bassist who dresses insanely and has like so much personality and so much skill. And it's just unfortunate that it went Bootsy Collins and then it was Flea for 2 generations, and then we finally have someone new.
Now we're back.
So,
back to that good bass. Yeah, big fan of Thundercat. He's got some great albums as well that have been my albums of the year in the past. So seek those out if you enjoy this style. And
he's even appeared on the extended version of my album of the year last year, the Heim album. Like he's all over. He's so cool. He's so fun.
Yeah,
he's like funny, but also like uber talented and can also like break your heart.
Yeah,
and I'm glad like TikTok found his songs and he's like blowing up in that way as well. It's just all good.
Man. Yeah. I love the idea of TikTok getting really obsessed with like super intense bass music. Like just crazy bass solos. And they're like, this is what the kids are into now. Like fucking 7-string basses. Yeah.
The new TikTok challenge is to do like a mix of finger taps and slaps on a like 7-string bass through like 6 phases to like prank your dad.
It's a pretty sweet prank, to be fair.
Yeah. Dad starts dancing and then you run out and you're like, that was to my bass line. Blah, blah, blah.
And he's like, oh no. Caught in a bass trap again.
Yeah.
Poor dad. Poor dad.
The listeners to this episode who came for the Anderson .Paak Bruno Mars must feel trapped in a bass trap now.
No, yeah, they absolutely are. You're stuck in this trap with us now. We've got Bootsy Collins is also thrown into the mix on this track, but on vocals. Like he's actually doing some proper, like not just speaking stuff for this. He does do the speaking stuff again, but he sings some songs, sings some lyrics rather. And it's just a real sexy song. Like I don't know much more what I can say. It's all about like it feels like I'm in a like smoky jazz lounge the whole time you listen to this. And there are some parts of the instrumentation here which I feel like are almost on the level of parody, like to the point of the sound, and that we get these like brass hits as we're going like between the like as part of the lick. It just goes like every now and then, which sounds like it's very funny. And almost certainly put in there as like, how crazy is this? Like music was like this, remember? It's pretty cool. I feel like this album in general has its tongue pretty firmly planted in its cheek for most of it. Like it's not serious. And that like we are going between these tracks, we've gone from like trying to woo the girl with seduction to saying I'm fucking great, and then like into this track where we're just like it's about love, basically. It's like we had 3 tracks about having sex in a row. It's very funny.
Yeah, there's like one serious song that you feel like they probably could have saved for like a Bruno Mars solo album. But like, chucked it on this one, and then the rest, and probably just to kind of like put people, I guess, almost disarm people, and then get them back with the fun funk again.
Yeah, it's so true. Oh my god, yeah. So this is a good one.
This is so fun.
Yeah. So playthrough 1. We're doing the same shit again. It's just like chatting about their marriage that's going to be happening between Lissa and Colwyn, and they do have their first kiss over the Thundercat ooze, which I'm excited about. He's oohing. He's going ooh when they're kissing, so I'm happy about that. And then we go to the night of the wedding, making it. It's again very like sensual and strange for this fairly intense regal wedding situation. Also, there's a host of guards who are slapping their swords against their shields, and this super is not in time. Which I'm very upset about. It was pretty much with the previous album that we listened to, but not this one. So, well, there you go. Another one of the Krull touchstones for syncs. Missed. So the Slayers come in, blowing the bloody doors off, and coming in to attack people, and then it's just like fighting Slayers for the rest of this playthrough, which again, not a great fit. Fight scene between these strange alien beings. Not a great soundtrack for that. Never mind. Who would have thunk? And then we're going into playthrough 2, where we're still getting Cyclops lore, and it is getting hot and heavy about this sensual Cyclops lore, Gareth. Oh my god. Learning so much about their history. And then we go to the Emerald Sears cave, which is, again, way too sexual for what's happening on screen. Just an old man and a child living in a cave. No, thank you. And yeah, there's very little syncing there. It's just a very strange tonal mess, which is how I would describe Krull. So, you know.
Okay, maybe it does work.
Maybe it does. Playthrough 3, we're getting the Widow of the Web sequence is starting here, and we are seeing the egg chamber in the middle. It is like weirdly, it works weirdly well. This intro to the Widow of the Web when he's like crossing the or the webs trying to get to the center like egg room. I don't really know what's going on in here. It's a cool set, but it's bizarre. But it is, this time it's working because we've got 2 characters that were in love, and we're recalling that. It's Aeneas and old Lissa, the widow. And yeah, the spider is trying to separate them, keep them apart. Not in on this love, the spider. He's the antithesis of love. And yeah, some like minor syncs in terms of like cutting between shots. There's a lot of shots like cutting between Aeneas and the spider, and that they're mostly in time with beats in the track, but not much to report other than that.
Bootsy Collins does ad-lib "Here I Come, Baby" as he's, trying to get to the middle of the web, so we've got something there.
There we go. Yeah, Bootsy's on Aeneas' level. They're both older gentlemen. So there you go. Playthrough 4, we've got cutting through the wall again to reunite Lissa and Colwyn. They embrace for this sexy song. Bardolph fucking dies because he's an idiot. Not sexy at all. Bloody fool, getting stabbed over his little dagger. And yeah, we get they start fighting the beast here. Colwyn starts like using the glaive to fight off the beast, No, actually not. He starts like breaking the beast's chamber, rather, trying to block him out. And as part of the chorus of this song, the two sing "We'll fly," and as soon as they say "fly," he throws the glaive out as if he's commanding it to fly. So that's pretty nice. And also, when the prison explodes, there's like this weird Giga dome that Lissa was being imprisoned in. That explodes and the beast like comes out of it. That happens over one of those brass hits that I was talking about. One of the like pows. So that's pretty funny. just seeing that happen. It was very nice. And
like the sound effect person was like, "Oh shit, okay."
Wow! I would love to be able to deploy that as a sound effect just on the mic whenever like you make a really like great joke. We need like a fucking Howard Stern soundboard that I can deploy.
Oh yeah, we've needed that for some time. That's some air horns, fart noises, everything.
Yeah, based on beans. They wouldn't use that a lot in the previous segment, but never mind. What could have been? Oh, what could have been?
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about that. We're going to track 5, "Smoking Out the Window," another single from this album. This is a strange one for me. This is a very...
it's so weird.
It's such a strange song. And that it is like, it's the fun, like bop kind of song. Where it's very much in the same style as the rest of the album. But subject matter wise, this is a fucking bizarre song. These guys are singing about basically being burnt by some woman that they were in love with. And like, she left them in the dust or in a state of like absolute obsession over her to the point where she like realized that they sucked and then left them. And then they're like begging for her, like, well, they're like, "Oh, I had to let you go." It's like gaslighting the song. It's wild.
Yeah. This was like what got the band together as well, because they had a running joke on tour about a guy who was so stressed out he had to smoke out of a window.
Wow.
Which is it's another... Bruno Mars actually like has such a talent for these incredibly specific details like this. You don't often see someone like smoking out of a window looking that stressed, but like you can immediately picture the kind of guy who would like eat a whole bag of chips in his car outside the supermarket and then go back and buy more or something like that.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
That is right on the money.
Yeah, he's stressed out. He doesn't want to get his house stinky.
Yeah.
But,
it's so strange.
Outside.
Yeah. The song is all about them, like, bending over backwards for this girl and then, like, they have to let her go or whatever is the idea. It's just so strange to write a song about that. But
yeah,
I don't know. Like, subject matter-wise, I do not vibe with this song at all. But it is fun. It's a fun song. So there you go.
I think this was the first one I heard, and I was like, "This is the album everyone's loving." And then, like, now in context of the whole album, like, oh, I get it. It's these weird characters they're playing.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that it's the centerpiece as well. Like, this is the middle. I guess it's that it was like the first single, so they were like, "We'll put it in the middle." But it's just a really weird song. I don't think it should have been a single. I'm not going to lie. I feel like they should have led with like Skate or something. But anyway, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Back to the film. Where
you can feel us delaying, like, okay, we got to go back to the film.
No, I'm not delaying at all. It's like an Oreo. We've got like leading into the song, talking about it, and then doing what the middle, the delicious filling here, which is the sinks, Gareth, and then just a bit of a joke at the end, which is your other piece of the Oreo. Just a bit of a jest. That's the structure.
It's like we're at this cool party where like this amazing funk band is playing, and like we're really getting engaged, but then between every song we have to then go straight up to the window, this tiny cracked open window, but instead of like lighting a cigarette or vape or something out of the window, we lean our little faces out and we see each other. We're both at separate dance clubs. We stick our heads out of this tiny crack in the window and we're like, you seen Krull?
Yeah,
Krull. So in Krull, the next thing that happens,
exactly, we're just talking about
it. Starts up.
We're talking about it at two separate parties that we realized that each other was at each of these neighboring clubs. We saw each other out of the window, and instead of just being like, "Oh, I'll talk to them later. I'll talk to them once we're leaving this party." No, we're gonna talk while we're here.
Yeah, in between every song.
Yeah,
on the dance
we're
floor.
both enjoying somehow the same gig in two different rooms. But yeah,
it's because we were at the concert venue, but we both went through different open doors. So Bruno and Anderson, the flatmates.
There we go. We've got it. Yeah. It's like, so we're at like an arena and we're either side of an entryway to that arena and we're just talking over the top of this like open gateway. Yeah.
Through again, the tiniest window.
Yes, just very small windows.
There's a guy waiting because he wants to smoke out of it, but like, no, Krull talk, please.
Yeah, beneath us is the sound guy, and he's furious. Yeah. All right. Anyway,
scowling.
Playthrough number 1. We're in the Slayer fight. Not really a great match. Again, all the fight scenes are hard to match with like a funk album. It's not really the vibe, but that's fine. There's not too much actual fighting or action in Krull. It's mostly like walking around, getting stuck in quicksand, encountering like a strange prosthetic enemy, and then climbing. A lot of climbing in this movie. A lot of trying to wrangle horses. That's the action that you're in for with Krull.
Someone forgetting that they're in a life or death situation and having a big smile.
Yeah.
And then, that's Krull.
That's Krull, baby. Slayer fight. The Slayers jump down and capture Lissa over the "I was wrong" part of the first chorus, which is nice. It does, like, in general, it makes this fight much more, like, triumphant, even though they're all losing. It puts me on the side of the Slayers, honestly. And I'm enjoying that. I just want to be a Slayer. I want to own the Slayer costume.
The Slayer costume's so good.
It's fucking so scary. What is going on with the Slayers? Why are they like weird squids? Nothing else is like that. It's so good. Oh my god, it's such a great detail in Krull that they're like little squids that go into the ground. Fuck, I love it.
It's such a flex that this movie implies there's a whole novel series that you have to read.
Yeah.
There isn't. It's just what they decided.
No,
it's like, the squids, cool.
Yeah, that's just how it is. No one's going to ever talk about it. It'll happen like 5 times. Anyway, Colwyn gets shot down right as the beat drops out in this song as well. So like the drums stop briefly and then come back. And that's when he's shot and falls down the stairs. Brutal. And the track ends with that damn cart catching on fire. The only thing made of wood in the whole castle gets set on fire. Just as a flex by the Slayers being like, fuck you guys. This song also has like the biggest and most aggressive use of the 2 words "this" and "bitch." Oh yeah.
Both by Anderson and Bruno, where like the beat cuts out and it's just like, "This bitch got me," and it happens exactly when a Slayer gets killed. There's like a close up on the Slayer, so the Slayer's thinking like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, can't believe I'm dying here.
Yeah, killed by Colwyn.
The worst way to die, at the hands of a grinning idiot. Oh god. Playthrough 2, we've got Ergo taking candy from a child because he's a bastard, and then the spinning crystal vision, which not a much going on. I envisaged that you would have to smoke out of a window if you were living in a cave. So that is appropriate. But beyond that, not too much on this one. They decide the beast gets to crush that crystal on beat, which I'm happy about, and then there's like a bunch of wind, and then they go to the Great Swamp, and that's what we're doing. Nothing really else. Playthrough 3, sort of a weird variant in this song where Ynir has misconstrued the relationship that he had with the widow and has let her go. Paints this scene into a very different way. But yeah, again, Ynir does come off like he sucks in the movie because he just sort of brushes off this like very weird situation where she like murdered their child because he left, and it's like, oh my god. But yeah, he somehow like is pinning that on her as part of this song. So that's how I felt while I was listening to this. She also transforms back into her like younger version for the final chorus of this. So I don't know what that implies like song wise. Like is it like the memory of her? It is like the vision of how he sees her, of how Aeneas sees her. So that's kind of maybe he's remembering this past version of her. I don't know.
Yeah, like he's just been blustering around saying that she's, making him smoke out of a window by cursing him, living in a web and killing his child.
Yeah.
But really, he still loves her.
Yeah, guess so. Who knew? Playthrough 4. The beast gets stabbed by the glaive and goes down right at the start of this track. And then and there's a lot of like pained trying to get the glaive back by holding your arm out for bloody ages. Doesn't come back. We do get a this bitch over this when Colwyn is trying to like hold his arm out. And I'm like, this bitch, just walk over, you know? Yeah. So that worked. Just abject failure. For the chorus of this song as well, when he's just like gives up and walks over and gets it. It's so funny. And then he's glaiveless, and the beast isn't dead, and they have that realization about the fire hand magic from the wedding, and again, smoking in a cave, bad call, because the beast is just barely visible from all the smoke in here. Needs to be smoking out the window, Gareth. Shut all those doors earlier. It didn't leave the door open. Didn't leave the window open. And now this place is full of bloody smoke. Furious.
Yeah, it's ruining our chance to look at a beast.
Yeah. I mean, it's all I want to do. And we just get him like dispassionately shooting bolts of fire at the beast for the end here. There you go. Put on a smile, Gareth. Now, you mentioned this in the intro as being a strange one for you. Was that right? Or
who's to say?
Okay.
It is a strange one. So this one, like, there's an interview. I think they did an Apple Music interview where they talked about like some of the songs on this album, and Bruno Mars outright said like, "Oh, I played this for Anderson .Paak," and he said he hated it.
Yeah,
and then they like worked on it really hard, and they got like Babyface, this R&B like legend, to help out, and eventually they got it to somewhere where they thought it would fit this album more. But yeah, this is when we kind of, evil Bruno Mars takes off his sequin suit and huge sunglasses and reveals a tiny little classic fedora Bruno Mars underneath, like a sensitive soul.
A fedora-wearing baby, just coddled in sequins, unfortunately, making his way into this album. Yeah, this is probably my least favorite on the album, I will agree, in that it is, like, very much old school Bruno. It's just like a sad R&B love song that's made its way into this funk album, which is fine. It's like... It's not a bad song, and they clearly have worked on it. It's got really, really nice minor chords, which is not typical of like the rest of the album. It's a nice break, I will say, from the rest, And it's like also before the next song, it's like a really good like switch up. So like pacing wise on the album, it's very clever, I think. But yeah. It's just...
No, I'm all for it. I like the rain in it as well.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a lot of like summer storm vibes to this whole album.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, to literally have some rain sounds is a good way to kind of bring that home for me.
Yeah. Just some nice Foley in there. But yeah, it's just a lamenting, sad love song in the middle of the album. Let's see how that syncs with the rest. So we've got... Yeah, just the we're still looking at that cart that's on fire, and then Lissa getting taken up to the castle. Very sad vibes for this. Feels like an immediate loss on the first playthrough here with this playing in the background. We've got Aenir rolling up on the castle and trying to revive Colwyn again, like dead bodies everywhere, bad times, you know. It's a losing battle out here. So many have died. The part of the lyrics of the song is like, Lord knows I'm dying. Like they're singing about so being so desperately in love that it feels like you're dying. Like there's people dying waiting around for death. So, you know, and also, but like the only thing worth smiling for is the like tail end of this chorus. It's like, the only thing worth smiling for is you. And then we pan across and just see Colwyn like with his shirt off, as if this was a love song directed at him. So that's funny. Yeah. I did like that. And for the end of this, he does agree to go up to the mountains to go and get the glaive. So that's the end of that playthrough. Playthrough 2, they're going through the like stolen crystals from the crystal cave that turn out to just be rocks. Buddy, that's a true sadness. Being poor, being bandits and tricked by a canny seer, Gareth. That's the true tragedy. Yeah. And then they get another attacked by Slayers again. It's just this one plays. We get the like you thing playing out again, but this time it's Pharrell the Cyclops coming in and joining the fight. So I'm very. It's like a love song directly for him. The Lord knows I'm dying. Line relating to the Cyclops' inevitable fate, Gareth, that they all die.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's wise.
Yeah, there you go. He joins the party for the end of the track. So we've got Cyclops on side. Playthrough 3, going to seek the fortress. The bit of the prognostication of the Widow in the Web here. She's saying where the fortress will rise in the Iron Desert, etc. It's very like this scene is so much more dramatic with this song playing. The leaving of Lissa here after their reunion is like deep tragedy with this mournful love song playing over top. Full on melodrama. She shatters the hourglass over the long like you bit. So, you know, that's some drama. It's good.
Yeah, it does add some like actual, this is a tragedy to this movie for the scene, which, you know, it needed it considering we've just been introduced to a character, immediately have to accept they've got a huge tragedy and then leave them.
Yeah, we just leave them and they're both going to die like at the end of this scene. Aenir takes like one last look back over the final like calling out chorus of this album play before moving on with his life and what he has left of it. And it's a very sad end. And the spider agrees with me because there's like a little drum fill at the end of the track and it's fucking furiously jumping up and down on top of the egg for that. And I'm like, yeah, man, that's how I feel. The fourth playthrough, the beast is dying. He is on fire and slow motion, wailing around. And if that's what being in love is like, man, just being a beast and being on fire. It's just how it is.
Whoa.
Yeah. This looks like a James Bond intro.
Yeah.
With this song playing, like, because there's just like this beautiful singing happening over the fucking beast. Oh, it's so good. And it's, complete slow-mo. There's a expressionless man shooting fire out of his hands. Yeah, it's just a strange opening title sequence to a different movie.
Yeah.
And
they would just lift it and shift it, make it a James Bond theme, and just be like, metaphor.
Yeah.
Metaphor Cyclops, metaphor Beast.
Yeah. I could see the entire movie of Krull being an intro to a James Bond movie.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And then you'd see later, you'd be like, oh, that's why the hand caught fire and turned into a rose. Finally, I understand. Anyway. Yeah, so there's not much else sinking otherwise. They just sort of run out of the fortress, saving Ergo and Titch, and then like blasting their way out of the fortress at the end. Like, sync-wise, not much more than that. It's just that, just the beast vibing as he dies is a great fit for me. So, from here we go to 777, which conveniently is track number 7 on the album.
Hey.
Yeah, there we go. It's a song about Vegas, winning big in Vegas, gambling, and being a high roller, basically. Celebration of the high life. Another flex track on the album.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's real fun. And yeah, this is like a really good... This reminds me a lot of Bruno's like later stuff, like the 24 Karat Magic era. And also a lot of Anderson .Paak. I feel like this is a really good blend of their styles. Yeah, definitely like an album track. This isn't a single-worthy track, I would say.
Yeah,
but it is. But it's definitely a fun one. You know, it's cool. It's a like, again, a real simple subject matter that gets explored. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Great drums on this one too, obviously. But, yeah.
I will say this is my least favorite on the album.
Oh, yeah?
Just maybe because it just feels a bit minor, and I think because both of them are so good with those incredibly specific brags that I would have loved like a little bit of a weirder angle for this flex song.
I agree.
Like,
I feel like lyrically it's one of the weaker ones in that like it could have been a bit more like cutting in there. Like if they made like a few like barbs at like gambling and the casino culture of Vegas, I think that would have been made for a more interesting song. But it's like, nah, it's great, drinking champagne, etc. And it's like, you know, so I feel like it could have been a sharper song if they had done something like that, you know?
Just a little bit of a hint that they're like old gambling, like weird sunburned Vegas guys.
Yeah.
If it's set in a different town, they're like doing the legalized gambling you can do in like the airport of Vegas or like...
They're out in Reno.
I don't know. Somewhere in like deep Florida.
Yeah.
Just riding jet skis. Even that's like a little bit more interesting and weird.
Exactly, yeah. We find out at the end of the track that they're just old dudes with jet skis. That's that's wonderful. That's exactly what
they're just playing online poker.
Yeah. Yeah, they made it big on TexasHold'em.com. Oh my god, that's great.
You know, in the last like 5 years, I've met, I think, 3 people who had a stretch of being full-time online poker players.
Wow, full-time?
Yeah. Right?
God damn. That would be such a stressful existence because you'd have no one to, like, read. I don't know how people play Texas Hold'em online, honestly. Like, half of the game is, like, reading your opponent, and you can't really do that through a screen. Otherwise, it's just sort of weird maths. It's like, how well do you know percentages, the game? So, I don't know. That's just my hot take about online poker.
Well, the weird thing is as well, being in New Zealand, they have to wake up at these really weird hours to play as well.
Yeah.
So you kind of get stuck as that's the thing you do is like, well, I can't really go out. I've got to play tonight.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, like a lot of jobs. But
interesting. If you were one of the 3 people that Gareth met that got real into that, please email the show because I want to hear more info about it, what it was like.
No shade to you guys. Like, very impressive.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
especially if you made money.
World. Yeah.
Goddamn, impressive. Yeah, syncs. Syncs with this gambling song. It's just a bunch of fucking climbing for the first one. We're getting all the bloody climbing up the mountain, bringing way too high of an energy to this incredibly boring sequence of the film where he's just like dodging rocks. I found that really funny, just like as a disparity between the two, like just so much fucking mountain climbing, and these guys are getting real hyped about Vegas as if they're climbing a mountain to Vegas. It's so funny. Yeah. But just the worst pick for the for this part of the movie. Just such an anti-sync. Oh my god, loved it, loved it to bits. Playthrough 2, they're just going through the swamps, and we've got Lissa trying to explore the castle, trying to avoid capture. She's just trying to escape this weird Geiger nightmare, and we get the let's go of the chorus, that like 777 let's go, as they start sinking into the quicksand rather. And yeah, it's that's pretty good. And also there's an ad lib as there's like a drum breakdown where Anderson calls out, I gotcha, as they're all trying to grab each other as they're sinking into the sand, like as if he's helping.
Yeah. We don't see him, but he's off camera doing his best.
He's holding out his drumsticks for the boys to grab hold on, pulling each other out. Playthrough 3, Anir, he fucking stumbles off the rock that he was standing on and dies after delivering his message. So rest in peace to him. He's not going to Vegas. He's not going to be in Krull 3 or whatever.
Krull 3, Vegas.
Yeah, hell yeah. Where the castle's just at the casino. It becomes a casino. Oh my god. Give me the H.R. Geiger casino, please. That's a nightmare version of gambling. Love that. All the cards are just like made of bones, and you're like, oh my god, what have I gotten myself into?
Just the idea that a new casino just emerges in Vegas, and then like right in the middle of the street or something. And it's just like, well, it's a casino. We better go.
That's part of it. They got all the permits. But yeah, so he dies, and then we get the intro to the fire mares, which is very abrupt. And we get the fortress transferring to the Iron Desert, which doesn't sync with anything, and then go into a bunch of horse wrangling. So again, not a lot of syncs. Right at the end of the track, though, Ral the Cyclops gives a nod to camera, which I'm happy about. That's like, and that's that song.
Yeah.
Special gift from Ral the Cyclops on that one. Playthrough 4. They are climbing down the fortress to get away as it like breaks apart and then flies up into the sky. Again, sort of a weird, I guess it sort of like lights up in the sky is similar to Vegas. So, yeah, sort of. There's they watch it deconstruct out on the fields, and it's completely gone by the end of the second chorus, and then we just get like a bit of chatting before the end of the film where they're like talking about unlocking the manacles, etc. It's not really much syncing. It's just with this track. This is the low point on the album for Gareth and also for syncs. So that makes sense for your character, Gareth, as master of the syncs, lord of the syncs, high marshal.
It's old Sync Sonic.
Sync Sonic. That's what we're doing. Track 8, Skate. It rhymes.
Yeah.
This is another favorite. Love Skate. This is such a fucking fun bop. It's a full-blown disco revival track. Like, this is straight out of the 70s disco era. Especially with that intro of just these, like, meandering chords. Oh, it's so nice. And these, like, twinkling like bell sounds effectively. Oh, it's real good. And they play through like every single chorus throughout. Yeah, this is also an exceptionally corny song, which is why I love it.
Oh yeah,
like
yes,
yeah, it's just like a direct love song, but like also talking about skating and how slide your way on over. It's got the dumbest line like committed to music in 2021, which is "you smell better than a barbecue."
Yes,
which is a bizarre way to tell someone they smell great. It's so fucking confusing. What?
It implies you smell more like a barbecue than a barbecue. Like, I know it's not saying that, but that's where your brain goes.
Like, it's a good smell, I'll grant you that, but it's like, girl, you smell like roasted meat. Like, what? Why would you say that? Oh, it's so strange. It's such a great compliment that I would love to have someday. But yeah, it's a real good song. It's got a really good pre-chorus, which I like a lot. The like trying to roll, trying to ride part is really fun. And in the video, they are loving it. They like lean to the side, and Bruno's just like going ham on the bongos.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a fun song. This is probably my favorite on the album, I would say.
Nice.
It's the most 70s-y one, and it's the cheesiest one. It's the one I'm going to remember, I think. But yeah.
Anything to help roller skates get their moment back in the sun.
Fucking A, man.
100% here for.
Yeah. Roller skates better than rollerblades. Calling it here.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. They got the like flat bottoms. You don't need to do the like weird stance that you have to do for rollerblading. I get that rollerblading you go faster, but like, why are we trying to go fast here, guys? Like, just fucking run. Like, or get a bike. There are easier ways. If you're on roller skates, that is fun. You're trying to have fun. You aren't trying to go anywhere in a hurry, you know? That's the key difference between the two things.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to my roller skates first blades TED Talk. And now I'm going to talk about syncs. Playthrough 1. More climbing. Straight into this bloody cave where the glaive is, the glaive cave. And goes to fetch it by reaching down into the lava. And he made, like, over the course of this, we've just had like climbing and nothing sinking, and then going into this cave, nothing sinking. As we go into that sweet bridge in this song, he does kneel down, and there's like a shot change for that, but that isn't really a sync. And then right at the end of the track, the little spikes pop out the end of the glaive, like on cue. So that's nice. That's a pretty good sync. Playthrough 2. Fucking Menno dies in the sink sand. Rest in peace, Menno. Everyone's favorite. Known for throwing a net as his weapon. Hilarious. Why, like, out of all the bandit weapons, like, there's 2 guys with whips. One guy with a spear. I don't know. I think, both Torquil and Keegan have axes. I don't.
Someone's got daggers.
Yeah, there's one guy with a dagger, one guy with a bow staff, and then fucking Menno has a net. Which, like, I guess if he's in tandem with the rest of the group, it's fine. But if he ever gets on his own, he's fucked. Like, you can't win with just a net. Sorry, Menno.
There's an amazing shot where he gets like a Slayer trapped in his net. And Robbie Coltrane then kills the Slayer. Yes. And Robbie Coltrane gives a look, almost to camera, that's like, I can't believe the net did something.
Yeah, I can't believe that worked.
Yeah.
Just the bemused look at killing an alien is my favorite part of that whole sequence. He's like, wow, that was actually quite easy. That's what that is implying. I slayed the Slayer. Yes. So he dies. As part of the song's lyrics, there is saying, take my hand and hold on tight. And that's exactly what these boys are doing, trying to rescue Menno. out here in the sink sand. That's a great sink sand strategy. Take my hand and hold on tight. Also, a great strategy for relationships. So there you go.
This album's full of quicksand advice.
Yeah. Yeah, not good. Not good advice, all of it, but some of it is advice. Yeah. So there you go. He does die right at the end of the first chorus. Poor Menno. And then we also get the like creepy changeling coming in to take over the Sears body, but not much else.
Yeah. With my favourite sync, though, and that they say, if you're looking for a man, sugar, here I am.
Oh.
As this other Sear arrives.
Oh,
like,
no.
Here I am.
That ain't the man that we want.
No.
Here he is. Bloody changeling. Oh, God, that is such a horrifying changeling as well.
Yeah.
Playthrough 3, the lads are getting ready after the nod from Rel, trying to get ready to wrangle these horses. Horses not known for their skating ability, Gareth. Not keen skaters with their hooves. So important difference there.
Yeah, they've already got hooves. They don't need wheels on those hooves.
No.
Be chaos.
No. Maybe that's the difference with Firemares. They're all wearing roller skates, and that's how they go so fast. Potentially. Unknown. Not a lot of shots of the horses. The horses? The horses' hooves. What are the horses? Oh, no. Oh, that's no good. I'm running out of energy, if you haven't noticed, listeners. I am slowly decompressing into a puddle, but we'll get there. Yeah, we got grab my hand and hold on tight again as Rel the Cyclops and Colwyn grab hold of these ropes and hold on tight as they get dragged behind the Firemares. So that's pretty good. And also, Rel stays behind to die. Fucking rip to a real one. Shout outs to Rel the Cyclops. Giving up hope here at this moment, but he'll be back, baby. Playthrough 4. This is the final playthrough 4 section because we just get the final parts of the film as they are running off into the horizon, and then we get the credits, which play over this entire song and end perfectly on the final credits with the end of this track, which scared the hell out of me. So yeah, this Krull is exactly 4 playthroughs of this in length, minus one song. Minus Blast Off, which is what we're going to get to now, which is the smooth as hell outro to this album. All about doing psychedelics, baby. Doing drugs.
I took it too literally. I was like, yes. Finally becoming astronauts.
Yes? No, it's not, Gareth. It's all a metaphor for bloody
tricked again.
Bloody Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds for a reference that our listeners will get. Yeah, they're all doing bloody drugs. There's a lot of sweet lyrics in here. Blast off and kiss the moon tonight. Dark side unknown if it is kissed, but which side of the moon you kissing? Let me know, listeners. And yeah, it's just like a real spacey outro, and then we get a direct farewell from the album by Bootsy, which is how all albums should end, just with Bootsy Collins coming in and saying goodbye. See you next time. I love it. I hope he does it for all of the albums.
Yes.
Just coming in and saying farewell.
It'd be cool if they had a different host every album, though. Like
that would be
someone
cool.
Else legendary from funk.
Yeah. I hope they do
Smokey
that.
Robinson coming in or something like that.
What would be the next album for them? Like A Morning with Silk Sonic? It's all about breakfasts?
Yes, 100%. And the album cover is like their face made of bacon and eggs.
Yeah. They're just served up on a plate. It's all like songs about brunch and stuff. Drinking mimosas in the sun. Hell yeah.
Oh. Different alarm clocks that they're bragging about owning.
Yeah, they do a cover of Time by Pink Floyd when it's just a bunch of alarm clocks going off. But they change it to be all about the morning.
Yeah. Time and then in brackets, but just the morning.
Yeah. Exactly. There we go. time in brackets to wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This song has a ripping guitar solo.
Yeah, it does.
Perfect, like, summer storm kind of vibe. And Bruno Mars is ripping that solo, which I could not believe.
Right?
Like, it's amazing.
My boy's on the strings. Bruno,
Yeah.
what are you doing, boy? How'd you get up on that stage? Who gave
Bruno
you...
guitars.
Who gave you... Bruno guitars. Oh, who gave him that Stratocaster? Who did it?
Yeah.
Who done it? Was it you, Anderson? You've been leading him astray again? See me after class. Play through...
Sliding him a Stratocaster in class.
Just under his desk. Oh, man. Play through 1. Yeah, it's Trip Out City, baby, as we are just zooming in on the eye of the Beast's castle with Lissa in it, which is a good fit. It's like the Tool album of this.
Yeah.
Of this part. But yeah, it's a good fit for the song about drugs, so that's fun. And then, just talking about all the fantasy bullshit that they're going to have to go through in order to get to the journey, go and save Lissa, etc. Go see the blind emerald seer, in the cave, etc., and the great swamp, blah, blah, blah. This classic stuff that someone would tell you when you were high on LSD just to freak you out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get the outro bar coming in as we go in to pick up Ergo at the waterfall. He streaks in like a meteorite into the waterfall's water. And we end the album as he transforms back into a human after being a goose briefly. So, that's pretty trippy. There's some acid visuals for you. Ergo's an acid trip of a man, so...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the kind of friend you make when you get into drugs and you're like, oh, no.
He's
the only one with drugs.
He's got big drug dealer energy, actually. He's carrying around, like, random scraps of paper with him with, like, scrawlings, and there's, like, they're my receipts. And you're like, whatever, dude. Leave me alone. Why do you smell so bad?
What you want to do is steal pies.
Such contempt for Ergo. I'm sure the actor is fantastic. So no shade on you, but that character, boy. Anyway, we don't have to talk about him again, probably. Playthrough 2. The crew have moved on, and Cyclops is witnessing the Sears body sinking, coming up from the sand, as he realizes that his friend has been replaced. They, as part of the lyrics of this track, they say, tiptoe to a magic place, as they are approaching the center of the swamp, which is the magic place where the ritual must be done. So they are tiptoeing towards that. There is the evil Emerald Seer gets killed by Ral, the cyclist, by throwing a spear, and Colwyn stabs him with a wee dagger, and then he turns into this horrific image, which is the last thing you would want to see while on acid. Just an
watch
absolute
an old man melt.
Yeah. That I feel like is an experience that would be common to have if you were on drugs. Haven't done acid, by the way. Fun fact about old JB. Doesn't know what he's talking about, as always. But don't want to see a man melt into the floor and turn into a jellyfish. No, thank you. Don't want to do that. But yeah, we're talking about having to go to the Widow of the Web over the vibey piano outro for this track, and Aeneas coming to terms with what he has to do. And then, Ergo gives an act of kindness and turns into a dog. There you go. He is transformed twice. So he transformed at the end of playthrough 1 here and at the end of playthrough 2. So 2 of his animal transformations occur here, which is good. His last one happened like somewhere in the middle with the tiger. But anyway, playthrough 3, the final part, we're shaking hands, saying goodbye to Rel. Everyone bloody loves him. They're all saying, oh my God, can't believe we're leaving this character behind here. Ridiculous. That's such a bleak end. And And yeah, it's time for a Firemere journey across the sky, Gareth. And I can't think of anything more apropos.
Right?
Just literally flying through the sky on horseback with fire coming out of the hooves. They are blasting off. You know? That's how it goes. Yeah, it's a great way to end. And yeah, they reach the fortress. And that's the end of our syncs because playthrough 4 is done. There you go. We did it. Wow. What did you think? How did it sync?
Oh, wow. I mean, what can you say? We've now got to like re-piece all these puzzle pieces. We've got to push all 4 corners of the screen into one. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Oh my God. I forgot. I want you to tell me more about that experience just as a whole. How was that?
It was just tough. Like, you realize this film is, like I said, very grey and green and brown. You realize how tonally all over the place it is when suddenly in one corner of your eye there's like trippy H.R. Giger-esque beast land, while other times there's a man swashbuckling around, and then like a character actor who went on to be in Harry Potter dying. Like, all this stuff, you don't know where to look. I was very proud I got the subtitles working on each corner, so that was quite cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, like, I thought it would be a great time-efficient way to get the maximum experience, and I'm sad to say there's a reason they don't split a plot across 4 screens and have each 4 stories tell themselves at the same time to the music of Silk Sonic. So that experience didn't sync.
Well,
the overall
it was
film,
a worthy experiment, Gareth.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for doing it and putting in the effort. Now we know that isn't a way that you should watch a film. But was it a way we should have discussed a film? Hard to know.
Who's to say?
Until we find out. Yeah, who's to say? I guess the listeners. But what did we think and how did it sync is the only thing left to do.
I mean, you've kind of got to think each fourth and how that synced. Although that's even harder, thinking about each quarter.
That's way harder with our notes. Oh my God. Let's just do one score like normal, please.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I'll say this probably is maybe of the 5 albums we've done to Krull, this is probably... Weirdly, all of them have been higher than Pink Floyd. So, yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, this is around whatever we gave
Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon was just so antithetical to what Krull was trying to do, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is laid back.
That makes sense.
This is so laid back, the number has laid all its way back to be a perfect line. Like, we can't quite tell what the number is, but it might be a 7.
Yeah. I like it.
It's a nice horizontal 7.
There's quite a few things that synced up, eh? I was like kind of surprised. Yeah. Pretty happy about that. 1 or 7. So, yeah. You don't know which.
It's just that flat. It's that chill. Well,
just a one-dimensional number.
Yes, finally.
Yeah.
Now, James, this album, if you ask me, it was like A-listers coming back to pay a tribute to something they loved so much and they bonded over. And it just made me wonder, like, what if A-listers today came back to Krull and remade it? So I asked you off mic, who would you cast if they were to remake Krull tomorrow? Who you putting in Krull? Who are the A-listers who are bringing Krull back to life?
Mate,
like Silk Sonic.
I relished the opportunity to do this. This was so satisfying to cast this movie. And I'm stoked to share my list with you. Have you done the same?
Yes.
Have you made a powerful list? Should we go through like character by character together and swap off? Okay.
Absolutely.
Right. Let's talk Colwyn first. Our leading man. I went with Liam Hemsworth on this one. the alternate Hemsworth for this, because I feel like he has he doesn't have the muscle bound nature of his brother that I feel like, and he's playing second fiddle in a way that I feel like Colwyn is born to do. So that's my cast there. What have you gone with?
That's actually perfect. So I tried to do kind of a similar thing. I thought like if we find someone charming enough to kind of fill in Colwyn's weird energy, like fill in his gaps and make him seem like less of a sociopath. But then I kind of just leaned all the way into it, and I've cast Barry Cogan from The Green Knight and The Killing of a Sacred Deer as Colwyn. This like kind of creepy guy. I reckon he could play this like flat energy of Colwyn. And we just lean into it. We're just like, yeah, Colwyn's a weird dude, but he's our savior.
Yes. Oh, man. Both great choices. Both very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Lissa. Who did you have for Lissa?
I cast from The Crown and from Little Sims album, Emma Corrin. I was like, she did such a good job narrating this last watch. Let's just get her in there.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good cast.
Yeah. Who have you got?
I've gone with like a similar kind of archetype, but I wanted to try and do like a visual match for many of these castings. So I've gone with Amanda Seyfried. From... Yeah. I feel like as appearing Liam Hemsworth and Amanda Seyfried, probably a bit bizarre, but it's an arranged marriage, so it'll be fine. But yeah, I feel like she's got like similar vibe to Lissa that I feel like she could really pull it off.
Nice. Who have you got for Ania?
Ania? Oh my gosh. So I needed someone who was older and wiser, and has learned I wanted like an actor that's learned a lot, but also is like charming and lovable, because Ania is like sort of this big softy guy, right? And so I've gone with the incomparable Robbie Coltrane, Gareth. I'm bringing him back in a different role.
Yes, yeah. Brilliant. I have him later on as one of the dads.
Oh, yes.
He's one of the royal dads, along with Ken Marshall, who originally plays Colwyn.
Oh.
Like, let's get them in as the dads.
Very good.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. That's very strong.
Thank you. My Ania, I'm going for just a guy I love seeing. Listeners are going to get to hear me talk about this actor quite a lot, I feel like, in the next month. It is Stephen McKinley Henderson, the drama teacher from Lady Bird. Just a great older guy. I think he'd lead Colwyn very well.
Okay. Oh, good. Very good. With some lovable old dudes guiding the lads. Very important. Who should we do next? Ergo?
So I toyed with the idea of cutting Ergo completely. But then I thought, like, okay, we want someone who's funny. We want someone who's like, a bit out of their depth. So I just thought we'll give it to someone who's guaranteed funny, and that's New Zealand comedian Angela Dravid.
Whoa, yes!
She's going to play Ergo, yeah.
That rules. I love that cast. Can't go wrong. That's fucking genius.
Right?
Mate, I zagged on him, though. I've gone with, like, similar, like, energy to Ergo. I just want to preface this with that I don't hate either of these actors. And by casting them as Ergo the Magnificent, this is not me saying, like, that I wish them a painful death. Basically.
Yeah, we're saying these people can improve Ergo.
Yes, directly. Hopefully. I'm not saying that I dislike these people. That said, I have cast either... I have two options for this one. Either Kevin James Gareth or Kevin Hart.
Oh, yeah? Oh, the two kids.
Just strong Kevin energy from Ergo that I was picking up. And I feel like either would do a pretty good job in the role. Like, they do different work, But
Yeah,
it would
actually.
be like it would be funny and it would be cheesy, and that's like exactly what I need for Ergo, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
No, that's great. Oh.
All right. Now important. Now
Who
an
is
important
your
one.
Cyclops?
Yeah, Rel the
Yeah.
Cyclops. I've again ideally I would have had Andre the Giant, but unfortunately he has passed away, so I can't choose him because I feel like that would be a perfect casting. Like he would fucking destroy the role.
Oh, yeah.
But I've gone with, mainly because I want to like see it happen, Liam Neeson as Rel the Cyclops. I just want him wearing so much prosthetic makeup. But also, Liam Neeson pretty tall. He's like 6'4". So, you know, you could do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, get him in there. Get him with the moving eye.
Nice.
What about you? Who have you got for Rel?
So for my Cyclops, I've got a little nerdy on the idea of a Cyclops. I like the idea that they were cursed with this sight. So for me, I'm picturing like a huge jellyfish-style mollusk of an eyeball growing over the sky, like
Whoa.
warping him slowly. And I don't know why, but I just want to see Benicio del Toro deal with that. I think he'd nail that.
That rules. Oh my god. That would be
Right?
such a gritty version of Krull. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Very different to considering everyone else I've cast.
Yeah.
Just have one guy be gritty.
Yeah. Just get him in there. Benicio. What's he doing? Yeah, just covered in this enormous eye. I love that.
Yeah.
All right.
So gross.
Torquil now. Leader of the bandits. Did you cast someone as this guy?
Yeah, I reckon the WWE's Kofi Kingston.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's famous for his jumps.
Hell yeah. Get him on the rolls. Can he do a forward roll? Probably. Love
find
that.
out.
I've gone with a similar like archetype match, and just for someone who's like a little bit seedy, I've gone with Walton Goggins for Torquil.
Oh!
Yeah. Just because I think
I don't see
yeah,
enough of
right.
him.
Like he's such a like sweet like character actor, and I reckon he'd be really good as Torquil, as this like really quite creepy bandit guy that wins you over. Like I reckon he'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you cast any of the bandits?
For the bandits, I just wanted a group of unknowns. Like I just want all of them to be like a bunch of actors I've never seen before to give them all a shot. You know, because that's sort of what's going on in Krull, right? This is the first appearance of Robbie Coltrane and Liam Neeson. They're like breakout roles into cinema, effectively. And yeah, I just want like the crew to be a bunch of people that I've never seen before. Give them the shot. Open casting call. That's what I want for all of the bandits.
That's great.
Because there's 8, and I wasn't going to cast all of them.
No. I just wanted to have for mine Bruno Mars
Yes.
as Keegan and Anderson Paak as Run, just to have the same feeling of like, what the hell? Is that
Why are
Bruno
they
Mars?
here? Why are both of their weapons drums? Oh, that's great. I love that. And then the rest is is just the band, their backing band. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
perfect.
Yeah. And no music. They don't provide any music. They just use their drums as weapons.
And who was your Torquil again? Sorry, who's leading them?
WWE's Kofi Kingston. Just a good-looking man in his 40s.
Good. That's the best crew. Oh my god. Okay. Is it your turn for the Emerald Seer?
The Emerald Seer. So I've got the Emerald Seer and Titch, the child. And I've got James Cromwell from Babe.
Oh, yeah.
But he's playing Titch.
Whoa.
Because the Emerald Seer is played by Alan Kim, the child actor from Minari.
Oh my god.
I think that would be such a cool twist to go in. You see James Cromwell or
And
Emerald
they're
Seer up, but
switched.
no, he's just helping the real Seer.
That's so funny. I love that so much. Okay. So my casting, I have not zagged on them like you have. I've gotten my cast for these two: Emerald Seer, George Takei is Sulu, baby.
Oh.
Get him in there. This
Yes.
wise man. I need him. He would love being the Emerald Seer, I think. He gets to, like, murder himself as a changeling. That's fantastic. And for Titch, I've just gone with Jacob Tremblay, who's just a young boy. He's in Luca. He's in the Book of Henry, that weird movie. Yeah, he's in a bunch of stuff. He's a child actor. He's 15 years old, so get him in there.
Okay.
Widow of the Web. My choice for this. I had to go with it. Anne Hathaway. Get her in there. And because she has to wear like all that prosthetic makeup again. Because she also did that. I found out on this watch that the Widow of the Web is actually the same actress wearing like a shitload of makeup. I thought it was two different people for sure. But no.
No, yeah. And like she's really young, this actress, Francesca Annis, as the Widow of the Web. And yeah, just kind of made to be old for most of it except for one mirror shot, which is why I'm casting as the Widow of the Web. Francesca Annis.
She's back again, but now made up to look young.
Yeah. Exactly.
So smart. Oh, that's a great cast. All that's left.
Yes.
I just did the Kings next. Yeah. That's all I've got, which you've already covered. You can, who was it? Colwyn and Robbie Coltrane back. I've just cast Robert De Niro and Al Pacino in these roles.
Yes.
Just get them in there as these old wise kings.
What a weird reunion on camera for those two.
I have not done any more because
okay. I have cast the Beast.
Oh, the Beast! Oh my god!
Yeah, but my Beast is Liam Neeson.
Oh yeah, that's a great one. He's got the voice, man. I want the Beast to be built by Robert Malley. Like, I want him to construct me a Beast. Which he probably did, honestly, for this film. But I want him to build me like a robot Beast. That would be the dream. Nice. And then we can put it in his museum. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Just a run back project. Krull 2. Krull again.
And then Krull 3 Vegas.
Yeah. Which I can't wait for. That's going to be the best one. That's it for the show, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's us. Folks, thanks for listening. We're about to lean back into our windows and stop whispering about Krull to each other.
Smoke across these windows. Gosh.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure you've all been looking at your calendars and you're aware that it's a very special month. It is January.
Who?
So, sadly, we're not actually doing any episodes. In fact, we've both just been hired to be the official podcasts of this desert planet.
Yeah.
So, we've actually just got to head there for a bit. It's kind of crazy, though. I keep having these dreams, James. These dreams that I'm recording an episode about David Lynch's attempt to make the film Dune. Have you been having this dream?
I've been having a similar dream, but mine's all about Denis Villeneuve's attempt to make Dune. So why don't we do those back to back, baby?
Yeah. January special, definitely our most requested and built up films.
Besides The Green Knight. But yeah.
Yeah. I'm a little scared. Actually, Krull was pretty requested, and we've dug that into the ground.
So, yeah.
Yeah, like Larry the Sandworm guy said, we're going to get a Dune.
Oh my gosh. Get her Dune. And on that bombshell, Garrett, it's time to close the podcast. Sync Floyd on Twitter, Sync Floyd on Gmail, Sync Floyd under your bed. You can't get us to leave. We're on all the socials. We're on all the anti-socials. We're everywhere. We are existence
everywhere you need
itself.
us to be.
Merry Christmas from Sync Floyd. From us to you. Have a happy holiday season. Stay safe out there. That's my advice. Stay safe.
Yeah.
Hang 10.
And until Oh, hang 10. And until then, as we say at the end of every episode, hang 10.
Hang 10, listeners. And then Bootsy Collins comes in. Goodbye, baby.